Okay, so how do you deal personally with difficult situations or the normal stress of day-to-day management or leadership? So, as I said before, there will be situations whereby you will be under severe stress, and this can be because you have an important milestone. Things need to be organized and they need to be done properly. So you've got maybe from your management a lot of pressure to get things done, and this may even cause you that you feel you have to push people, and so you feel under stress, and typically what happens is people, when they're under stress, they sort of flows downwards. Now that's not normally that's not good, normally speaking. So how do you deal with that? So again, you can imagine, as I mentioned before, when a manager is talking to a person about how they performed and so on, you can imagine yourself on the far side. So you have the opportunity then to say, okay, in this case that the example I've given is where you have somebody pressing you to get things done quicker or whatever. The best way to do this, if it's an individual in this case, or from your management, you can ask them for a one-to-one and express what the situation is, provide information how things are going, and so get his feedback. And then in doing that, you make them aware of what's going on, and from your presentation or how things are going, they will start to feel more relaxed. And then when their manager comes along and asks them questions, they'll be able to give them an answer. And again, you need to make sure that they're content, and not content exactly, but they see you have things under control. Okay, again, that is very important when reporting to upper management. You present things in a simple manner. If sometimes it can be difficult that you have to present some issues, and again, if you're presenting issues, you present it in a way that you've identified the issue, you've identified any solutions, and you indicate the risks and impacts involved. So that's a very simple way of dealing with the stress of people coming along casually thinking, oh, you need to get this done. So that's one way of dealing with the stress that you have involved with meeting milestones. Now, there are other moments where you're in a situation and it's just a situational type stress. Again, you can't expect other people to do things that you don't do. So if you expect people in your team, when there are meetings going on, to respect others' points of view, when they're talking, not interrupt, very simple things. Again, you need to do the same thing. When you're being put in a difficult position, your reaction needs to be what you expect of others. It can't be different. And so if somebody has less skills in terms of communications, and their tone may be a little bit difficult to deal with, I mean, you can express in a clear manner, say, maybe if let's calm down a bit, calm down the situation, and say, focus on the solution, focus on the issue at hand, and what are the solutions. Never take things personally, because that usually means you got into an emotive state, and things will not generally end up being good. So yeah, avoid taking things personally, because you are there to, in this case, if it's a job, right, your responsibility is clearly defined, and you need to maintain professionality, right? So what if it's in a social situation whereby you've organized this group of to do social things to help to benefit the community, where there is no structure? Again, it's the same approach. If somebody, because sometimes we get very passionate about what we're doing, and we forget to talk to people as if they're people. Same approach there. For the person who's passionate, you can say, look, that's really good, and I'm very happy to see you're passionate about this. Maybe we could address the tone and so on. So again, it's the same approach, whether it be a structured hierarchical situation or even in a social situation. The approach is calm the situation down, maintain calm, even though it may be very high level pressure and so on. And one last thing about stress. A lot of issues can be avoided. So as we mentioned earlier on about plan the work, work the plan. When you work out and see where you're going, how you're going to get there, you can identify, and this is good practice, identify risks and their impact and what are the possible solutions. Now, if you do that up front, right, in sufficient time, when you get to the start, you're monitoring these risks constantly. And you're going to notice straight away if things are deviating from the plan that you can instantly react, and that will avoid stress down the line, whereby at the last minute you're trying to get things done and you suddenly find out this part of the project hasn't been completed, and then you've only got 1 day to sort it out and the actual time to get this done is 6 days. So again, help you to help yourself plan your work. You don't have to, the level of detail on how you identify risks and impact, that will help you determine and keep the project on track.